Exciting times here at Hubnut HQ. My seal kit has arrived. I've got all these fancy kits and washers and things. I'm only interested in 2 of these seals, which I'm going to fit to the pump. Put lots of rags down because there is going to be diesel spillage and not particularly ideal for the driveway. So I'm going to crack on. I don't know if you can see, but I've made marks to try and help me align that. As I mentioned previously, that has to be in exactly the right place or I'll bugger up the fueling of the car. So I've already spoken to a local garage, so if it runs but doesn't run very well, I can go down there, they can check the fueling, all should be well. In theory, time to cross those fingers and dig in. Well, it's another beautiful day in paradise. Look at that, gorgeous. But enough scenery, I'm busy. And if you look in here, you can see I've got the lid off. So that's the lid. I've pulled the gasket out. This is the old seal or gasket. I've got my new ones lined up ready to go in, and now I've got to pull this base bit off, and this is what controls the fueling. So first of all, I have to be careful not to damage any of this sort of malarkey here, and I've put some marks on so I can get it back in hopefully the right place. Fingers crossed. Here goes. And we're in. So here we go. That's the pump removed. The gasket fell off, which was the old one. That's the old one, I think. That just came off as I pulled it apart, which suggests it wasn't doing a very good job. So key thing I need to do, sorry, extreme close up, when I put this back in, is get this plunger to engage with the hole there, because that's the mechanical element of the pump. So if I don't get that right, I'm knacking my pump up, and I consider that undesirable. So let's see if I can get it back together with new seals. Right, we're done. New seals are in, pump is hopefully back where it should be. I'm now going to try and start it up. Now this is going to go one of 3 different ways. One, it just won't start because there's air in the fuel system. It might take a while to bleed. I can't see a primer, so I'm just going to have to hope it'll bleed itself. 2, it'll start and run absolutely terribly. Or 3, it'll start and run far too quickly, which is why I will have one hand on the key at all times. But let's go and see what happens. The ignition key goes in. The steering wheel's going to need a wiggle, bear with me. There we go. Right. It's not happy about something. Ah, but there we go. I can't see the ignition lights. I hear a pump kicking away. My dials are flickering. That's peculiar and unexpected. It's now stopped. Let's see. Ah. I think I'm out of battery power. It's time to see whether my little jump pack can start this great big car. Well, I guess I found out why the alarm's been going off. Probably low voltage. Let's try. I don't think my little jump pack's going to do this. Wait for the glow plugs. Hope for the best. No. So tiny little jump packs can't start 2.5 litre turbo diesels. And getting jump leads on this car is going to be kind of interesting. Bugger. So the Omega's dead. The battery is completely flat, which is rather buggered up proceeding. So I thought, well, maybe I can use a ratchet strap and a 2CV as a ground anchor. That might work, mightn't it? Will the car go backwards or will my 2CV move? No. Now that's bringing the 2CV closer to the Omega, right? I may need to rope in my wife for pushing duties. Oh, this is going well. Now managed to get the Honda in, so it's now providing charge for the battery. The battery seems to be completely flat, so I'm giving it a bit of a run to try and get some charge in it before I try starting it, because as soon as I put even the glow plugs on, this starts going as the alternator load increases. So just have to wait a bit. That sounds alright. I'm covering up the EGR valve with a hammer. Otherwise, it sounds really noisy. But I think I'll take that. Hooray! This is one of those jobs. Look at the state of my face. And unfortunately the car is not running very well. I think I may have buggered up the fueling. And I think that clag kind of confirms it. Bugger, back off with the inlet again. Well, it's been a bit of a game and I've managed to clean my face, but we are finally getting there. I've had to take the whole inlet manifold off again, and I'm now having another go at putting it back on. Again, it seems to run very nicely without the manifold. Let's hope it works this time with. Quick tip for you. I've got to get nuts into places I can't get my fingers, so you put the nuts in the end of the socket, and that's great until the nut falls out of the socket and you have to take the manifold off again to try and hunt it down. We've played that game already. But if you wedge a bit of paper in with the nut, it does just enough to hold it in place and stops it falling out the socket. So that's a top tip for you. Well, we seem to be doing okay. I'm out on test drive. We've had some woes today, but I took the manifold off again, and it was still running like a sack of crap. So I pulled, or I loosened the pump. I gave it a few taps with a hammer handle. Don't smack it with an actual hammer or you'll knacker the thing up. And then it seemed to start running nicely again. Still see my hands are filthy. I've had an initial scrub with a wipe just to get the worst of it off, but I want to go for a test drive. And yes, I have got contact lenses in, and I've got oil on my head again. Just all part of the fun when it comes to me. Still in 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, but all is smooth so far. Here we go then. No clag. Are you? I'm sure this car feels more lively than it did when I first got it. It's feeling positively muscular at the moment. Oh yeah, I think I'm liking this again. Ah. Here we go. That feels a lot more lively. I wonder if that's because I did find some hoses that were detached, I think related to the exhaust gas recirculation valve. But yeah, whatever. Definitely feels a lot more lively. Definitely isn't pissing diesel everywhere anymore. This job's a good one.